Catus, Maximus here, this time with a little review of what I'm calling the Stellate digital air quality meter. This is actually not a Stellate brand, but whoever is making these has these rebranded as under several different manufacturers. I actually found this one. It was essentially brand new, unused. Now, air quality meters are actually pretty neat. It's interesting when you vacuum and you stir up a bunch of dust, seeing how many particles pick up. One of these nice ones, this one has an LCD display. It also has a lithium-ion battery. Now these things actually take several hours up to a day to actually kind of even out and quote-unquote self-calibrate. And so something like this actually has a battery, not to really use it as a portable unit per se, but more as a built-in battery backup. So if you have power outages, that type of stuff, it will maintain its readings. This one is actually a little bit earlier of a unit, which is kind of interesting because it has a Wi-Fi capability, so you can use a phone app and just be sitting on your couch and look at your phone app and actually just look at your air quality. What these usually, a high quality one like this is going to give you a standard air quality index, but what we have here is we have our particulate matter, and on a nice one like this, it's actually measuring 3 different sizes. 10 micron, 2.5 micron, and 1 micron. That's parts per million. As we can see, I have decent air quality. Now, it also does humidity, temperature. It's pretty warm in here. The TVOC is total volatile organic compounds. And what's surprising is, like, when you're cooking or even using cleaning products, sometimes that will shoot way up. I don't know if you can actually hear. I'm going to put this up to the speaker. Maybe you can hear, but this has like a microscopic 1-inch fan to circulate a little bit of air through it. And so it does respond pretty quickly. We have HCHO, and depending on this same looking unit with LCD display, surprisingly enough, there's some that do carbon dioxide and some that are doing formaldehyde. And formaldehyde is used in a lot of plastics and that type of stuff, so I can see why they include it, but carbon dioxide is also becoming more of a concern, so some of them do that as well. Now, the big deal about this thing, if I can, let's see here. There we go. We have like this mode, which is just a more of a pretty clock mode. But the cool thing about this more expensive unit, which is around $100 or so, and you can see it on Wayfair and Stellate and Amazon. But the cool thing about this is the fact that it actually has a graph, so we can see the various things, our air quality. You know, when we do something, we can see all the particles go up. I have basically no formaldehyde issues cooking and cleaning, so you'll see, you know, basically a histogram of your air quality, and so it's not such a big deal having that histogram, but it is kind of neat to see, you know, if for some reason at some time in the like early mornings or whatever, late at night, or for whatever reason you see big spikes in air quality, it's something you should investigate. Anyway, it's just kind of neat. Kind of like the idea of having something like this. Now, obviously, the way these colors work is if you get too high, panels will change to yellow, and if you're getting too hazardous, they go to red. And if any of these panels are red, it's basically hazy. You can smell and see whatever issues they are, but they are kind of handy, and I kind of like the idea of actually having a device that monitors my air quality. The one last thing I'm going to mention about these is the volatile organic compounds uses in what is known as a UV ionization sensor, and it's limited to the lifetime of that UV LED, and they say it's usually 1 to 2 years, but you'll know if you have an issue with that because the value will just never change. All you have to do is like blow into it just like I did, and we can just see it's screaming. Apparently I have some formaldehyde in my breath too, because that actually jumped up quite a bit. Look, the volatile organic compounds really start going high. As far as the particulate matter, that's using a laser interferometer, or not interferometer, but it uses a laser type sensor, so it's a laser just shooting across a gap, and the more particles that interfere with the laser attenuates the light signal, and that's how it can do the particle size. I'm not sure how it determines. I don't know if it has 3 lasers, one tuned for each of the particle sizes, or if it's just some kind of computerization that, you know, depending on how the light is attenuated. But I would assume it would require 3 different laser sensors to be able to determine 10 micron, 2.5 micron, and 1 micron. So there's a lot of handheld versions of these, but they just don't separate out quite the different particle sizes. It's kind of interesting because a lot of times what you'll see is maybe you have a whole bunch, it's like red in the 10 micron, but it's actually still yellow in the 1 micron. So always thought that was pretty interesting. The humidity is now 100% because I've been holding it in my hand and its temperature's gone up, so it's actually pretty reactive. Anyway, I just wanted to do a little video because I've seen a lot of these air quality meters online. Always kind of wanted to get one, but they all kind of seem cheesy, and that was until I ended up finding this one, which I thought was just pretty darn cool. The fact that it has wireless capability and built-in graphing and a nice LCD display. So I just wanted to share that with you all. Anyway, I really appreciate everybody who's been watching and subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Till next time, Catus Maximus out.